Hi everybody, it's Natalie from Nat Supports Autism. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been so long since I've posted, I was having trouble just taking the time to do it. But I'm here now, ready to roll. So, today this video is going to be about special interests. Now I found this book, I have this book, it's backwards. But Can I Tell You About Asperger's Syndrome? It's written from the perspective of a boy who has Asperger's Syndrome, and he defines special interest as something that interests you more than anything else, or like something you fixated on, have an obsession about, know a lot about, can't stop talking about, that sort of thing. Now, I have multiple special interests. Like, as you might be aware, I'm super into TV and movies. In fact, I have this little opinions journal that I carry with me a lot of places that I write down my opinions, like my favorite couple, my favorite type of music, my favorite, ranking my favorite TV shows, ranking my favorite TV couples, ranking my favorite Rebels stuff, and what my favorite genre of TV is, which, by the way, is kids fantasy or Disney comedy, depending on what it's like. Since I don't like every Disney comedy show, it really depends. Mostly I like fantasy. Oh, and I like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Marvel. Anyway, but I go through these periods with movies and TV. There's a obsession where I'm fixated on one movie or TV show. Like, for a while it was Frozen, then Ninjago. For a while now it's Marvel. It changes all the time. I don't really know why, but that's what it does. And another special interest is obviously YouTube and learning about autism, because for a while I was finding I didn't have the ability to read a whole lot of anything but about autism. And it was very interesting for me, see, because I really enjoyed reading about it, because I really wanted to start this YouTube channel, but also it was just something I had taken an interest in a couple years ago. I actually really had the true desire to learn more about it outside of the YouTube channel. Plus, I wanted to make my channel as accurate as I could. So that's what I ended up doing. Now, I was also obsessed with Star Wars for a while. Forgot about that. Anyway, another special interest is marine life. Like, I used to major in marine biology because I loved learning about marine life so much, but instead I'm going into occupational therapy just because I have more of a passion for kids. That's another special interest. I just love kids, learning about them, looking after them, that sort of thing. And if you notice, my thumbnail is Kai from Ninjago, because that was an obsession, that was a special interest. With movies and TV, I just spend hours reading about them and learning about them, reading articles, discovering my own opinions, watching them over and over again, that sort of thing. And I'm really into kids because I find their innocent minds to be so fascinating, and they're really cute, and I just enjoy them. And that's why I want to be an occupational therapist, so I can help kids with disabilities specifically. And I'm serving right now with kids on a regular basis, so I can have the opportunity to gain more experience in that, which is why I'm trying to become a registered behavior technician, to gain experience in that field, which is someone who does therapy with kids with disabilities. It's different from occupational therapy. They're two different methods. I believe RBT uses ABA, and I'm not sure exactly what occupational therapy does, but it's a different method. And also, another special interest of mine is writing about superheroes, fantasy. I also wrote a romance novella, which I wasn't really expecting to do. I usually just enjoy romance in the show, but not the whole show. So there are exceptions to that. Like, I like some shows that are focused on romance. It really depends on the show. Like, Boy Meets World is the one I really like. It's a lot of romance and drama, but it's a really good sitcom. But I usually prefer fantasy, so I never thought I'd actually write a novella that was entirely focused on romance. Now, in all the stuff I write, there's usually some sort of love story mixed in there. Like, when I wrote my first play, there was a lot of romance mixed in. There was a lot of drama between family and couples. Pretty fun to write, Land of Tatia. And I've always loved just reading I've been having trouble with that lately because of my getting headaches and my migraines and just overall motivation. But I used to love to read, so I really trying to get back into that. Anyway, but one of the things, not tough talking about my special interest, I know there are a lot of things that people are into, like video games, computers, trains, animals, lots of history, historical books, historical fiction books. There's so many different ranges of special interest, even though I have a few. I mean, some kids just get hyper focused on their special interests. That's all they can talk about, and don't really understand. People with autism tend to high functioning autism tend to rattle on and on about subject they're interested in, their special interest, as it's called, without realizing, oh, they're not interested in this anymore. Let me move on to something else. Where they can't read expressions well enough to be able to tell people are disinterested in what they're talking about, so they end up just keep going on and on about it until everyone just gets mad at them, which is a very sad situation. So if you are around someone who you know has autism, just give them a cue. Express with words, hey, can we talk about something else? So just staring and getting bored and then walking away, they're not really going to understand why you're doing that. Because for me, I've learned over the years to not obsessively talk about TV, but it's really hard for me not to just go on and on about my current obsession with something. So that's one of the things I'd like for people to know. And then the other thing is, if you are a child with Asperger's, try to expand your horizon. Like, there's nothing wrong. Or you can turn what you're interested in into a career. And that's what I'm doing with kids. And I write fun, but also I plan on maybe publishing it. And I love art, doing art. And it's just a fun idea to think about. That just one day reaching those goals of publishing books, working with kids, doing stuff like that. And I've learned somewhat not to obsessively talk about TV, try to find other things to talk about. But I find that no matter what conversation I'm with, no matter who I'm talking to, it always circles back to me talking about TV. And sometimes my mom has to remind me, oh, I'm not interested in talking about this anymore. Can we please talk about something else? And then, of course, I get a little my feelings hurt, but then I move on because I realize, oh, she's lost interest in this. So it's very good to be verbal about how you're feeling about a subject instead of just expecting them. But if you are that kid with Asperger's, make sure people understand, hey, I'm just interested in this. I don't know why, but I can't really stop talking about this, so please help me out. And maybe people will understand you better and help you with that. Now, I know a lot of people with Asperger's, which is what I'll talk about later, don't really understand social cues very well, which I will talk about more in depth in another video. But the point is, social cues aren't something that people with autism or facial expressions read very well. And that's why communication is so important. And as far as special interest goes, I just think understanding it is best. And if you can find your way, just limit the amount of times you talk about it if you're Asperger's. That's great. And if you're a person who's not interested in it, just communicate, like I said. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook if you want to. It's the same name in my channel except for it's one word. And hopefully I'll do a live stream someday soon. I just don't know when yet. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.